Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the V Spot. For this episode, I want to begin to have a conversation with you about confidence. And I say begin because I do believe that confidence is a very rich and in-depth concept that warrants many conversations, not just one. But I've been intentional about diving deeper into confidence for my own intentional healing and wellness journey. And I'm learning a bunch of things about confidence that I'm pleasantly surprised by and really interested and intrigued about. And I want to share some of that with you in hopes that it will create an opening, potentially give you access to something new that will forward you in by way of your journey. And so when I started to be with this aspect of confidence on purpose, I really started to dive into the questioning for myself about what is confidence to me? What would improve my confidence if I got into a commitment about daily work around confidence? How would that show up in my life? And when I started to answer that question, what I became aware of is this aspect of confidence being highly personalized. And so I started thinking, the way I'm answering this question, I'm not quite sure everyone else would answer the question in the same capacity. And so I was curious about how confidence shows up for other people and how would other people answer the questions that I was diving deeper into self, and so I started to ask, and I'm going to ask you, if I asked you to work on improving your confidence on a daily basis, what are some things that you would do? If I asked you to begin working on improving your confidence on a daily basis, what are some things that you would start to do? And what I was so interested and blown away by is the fact that every single person that I asked that question answered it differently. And I love that, right? And it really got me to think, wow, confidence and the improvement of it shows up very different from person to person. There's not a one size fits all in terms of confidence. And so what would improve my confidence may be, there may be no impact for you. And so I want to share this because I think, number one, it's super important to identify what is confidence to you, right? How do you define it? And how would you go about improving it? And so it has been revealed to me that for many of us, confidence is directly tied, confidence or lack of, I should say, is directly tied to areas where we may feel insecure. And so if you are in a commitment to improve confidence, what seems to be coming out is that you would potentially target an area where you're feeling, I hate to just say confident, but that's the word, where you're not feeling so confident in a particular area. So for example, when I think initially about confidence, the first thought that I had when I first started to explore this as a means of, what would I do to improve my confidence? My response, my exploration sort of led me down a road of physicality. And so I started thinking about being intentional with my body, the movement, because my confidence has taken a hit by way of appearance and self-esteem connected to that domain. And I've shared about this in different episodes on the V Spot. And there's value in, as a matter of fact, look at this, no coincidence, everything is so connected. The episode that I did that's entitled Wonderfully Made, and I'm wearing the sweatshirt, so it just made me think about it. Wonderfully Made is in season 1. There's a lot of talk about sense of self and the development of in that particular episode. So if you haven't already tuned in, perfect opportunity to, point you back to season 1 and encourage you to have a listen to that, because I share about how our sense of self is developed and how oftentimes messaging and experiences and negative at that, negative experiences can create a poor sense of self. And so it's no mistake that in this particular episode, I'm connecting the dots in real time right now with you, because in the conversation of confidence, that's just it, right? It's often connected to, or the lack of is connected to some experiences from the past. And so what I've been finding in conversation with people is it's the very thing that's driving the response in terms of where people would go to improve the confidence. So first and foremost, I just want to circle back. What is confidence to you? How would you describe feeling and being confident? And if you were to enter into an agreement to work on improving your confidence on a daily basis, what comes up for you? Now, I gave you one example, right? I'm not going to give you others because I don't want to keep making it personal here about me. I gave you one example of when I started to explore confidence, physical and body is what emerged at first, right? And so if I were to enter into a commitment around my own improving of confidence, it would likely include something that supported that area. And so I invite you to look at what is it for you, because oftentimes when confidence is discussed, it's discussed as a very one size fits all concept. And what I have come to discover by way of my own journey and that of various clients and friends and people who I've been intentional to have this conversation with is that that is the furthest thing from the truth. It's not at all one size fits all. It's actually highly individualized. And so if we don't take the time to identify what is confidence to us, what is confidence to you, how would you improve your confidence? If you don't take the time to do that foundational work, when anything is offered by way of improving confidence, it can feel very generic and not necessarily land. And so if we're unable to identify, well, what is it and how does it show up, or how does it not show up in my life, then we're certainly not able to land on ways to improve it. And so I think this is exceptionally powerful, because whenever I read about confidence by way of social media or any other, informational source, if you will, it doesn't spotlight that it's personalized. It's often said like, improve your confidence, boost your confidence. But to drill down deeper, what does that mean to you? Right? Because if you're trying to improve confidence based on my definition of, and where I'm like coming up, like short in the area of, it will never resonate, because again, what it is for me, it's not for you. And I think that I'm excited to land on this because I have started to actually implement this into my work, in that it's such a deeper level conversation to arrive at confidence and the personalization of it and what that means as to where it is right now, potentially what inspired it to be, the current state, and then where you're looking to go. And so lack of confidence absolutely impacts our results in all different areas of life, right? So be it finances, career, relationship, wellness, whatever the domain may be, lack of confidence absolutely impacts our results. And so if we are looking to create something different for ourselves, there's absolutely power and reason to connect with our confidence and the improvement of. And so this episode is very much a pause with all of the busyness that's going on in the world and life, and answer the question, where are you experiencing a lack of confidence? And what might it look like to be in a daily commitment to improve that? And if you're confused or unsure of where to even begin, that's okay. And then give yourself grace, because how can anything be improved if you're not quite sure how to improve it? And that is, I would say, if you want to use a dramatic word, the danger of making confidence seem like a one size fits all. Because if we attempt to improve something where it's not quite resonating and it doesn't quite fit, it can be, detrimental to the experience of the overall improvement, because overall improvement won't happen, right? Because we may throw the towel into, it doesn't even feel right, And so I'm excited about this discovery, because I cannot wait to infuse my work with confidence on a much more intentional level in all capacities. Because regardless of what my clients and what you all may be working on, there's tremendous value in injecting confidence into the conversation to gain access and clarity to, well, what is it for you? And where is it showing up? Where is it not showing up? And what would it look like to be intentional about improving it? How does that show up for you in terms of daily functioning, daily tasks? What could that look like? And when it feels right, when there's an ability for it to click into place, just like a puzzle, and it to really resonate, feel right, and be true to you and your journey, I'm excited for what you'll be able to create when that's the case, right? Because again, you are unique, and your life experiences and interesting combination of ingredients, right, that make up your personality and your life and your overall existence, if you will. It's not that of anybody else's. And so when we're in a conversation of confidence and the benefits of it and the experience of self and how we can look to create a different outcome, by improving it and by being purposeful with plugging in some daily actions that lend to the greater sense of self, it's going to be so profound and impactful when it totally makes sense. And so this episode, if it does nothing else, I wanted to serve as an interruption to the conversation, the traditional conversation of confidence, and allow for it to be a purposeful sort of shifting of how confidence is held, how we tend to operate in it and with it from a very automatic standpoint, where we don't go deeper to be with it on a much more personal note, and invite you all to be with this aspect of it, to say, make it your own. The same way that you style and you dress according to your own personality and vision, make confidence personal and look to customize and tailor, make a plan to support the improvement of, based on who you are, how you hold it to exist or not exist in your life, and go where you're looking to go. And so if you take away one thing from today's episode, my hope is that you take away this aspect of confidence being a highly individualized experience, and the reality that the moment it all clicks into place, sky is the limit as to where you can go in all of the areas of your life, because you decided to customize the experience of. And so I'm excited. This is like the first freestyling conversation about confidence in this particular capacity. And I'm excited to continue the conversation, to deepen the conversation, and to really be with clients and my own results as a direct impact of confidence with intention, confidence from a personalized standpoint, confidence through the lens of clarity.